And this is the first elongated skull I ever saw. This was in the little museum in Paracas the first time I went there. It's a perfectly preserved, mummified head. And the photograph doesn't show too well, but it has genetic red hair. Once again, you see the large bump on the forehead like that. And you'll also notice that the neck is quite far to the back. So we're going to get into the anatomical differences between the original Paracas people and the later normal-looking people. There are also different shapes. This again is more like the Akhenaten style. And again, this could be the result of head binding. What we have to take into consideration, as I said earlier, is that the Paracas probably appeared on the coast of Peru around 800 BC. And due to breeding with normal people over the course of generations and centuries, as the skulls began to shrink, they began to do more and more of the binding to try to maintain the ancient design. So you start out with this shape, and then over the course of about 800 years, you wind up with this. This is basically a normal looking skull with simple flattening of the forehead and the back of the skull. And then after that, then you have these people disappear, and then you simply have the rise of the Nazca, who were normal-looking people, normal-looking Amerindian people. And then we have this curious one. So look at this, again, normal head binding. And then look at the complexity of this skull. This is probably within the first couple of hundred years of the original Paracas people. So once again, you have the large bump on the forehead, have very large eye sockets, a very robust chin, much larger mandible, lower jaw than normal. And also, you can't see it in this photograph, but there's actually a groove in the back of the skull that slightly separates the two hemispheres. So it's incredibly complicated curvature of this skull, which you couldn't achieve with simply binding the head.